Yo, what is poppin', Henny? Gang, 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 gang. We are live. We have made it. We finally made it. And tonight is going to be a very special night because we are going to be talking about a very important topic. We're going to be talking about colorism tonight. So we're going to keep a lot of the chitty chat down to a minimum. I do want to give a year to the whole Henny gang, 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 gang. And we're going to get right into this topic as soon as we do our intro, because you know how we do. We got to get the intro rolling, baby. This video and its content are protected under the Fair Use Act, so YouTube, do not copyright strike my channel.
And I'd be like, why are you so obsessed with me?
Did you hear what they just said? Child, a whole mess. Oh, I'm about to spill this Hennessy and y'all about to sip. Okay, so I wanted to hear how I sounded before we actually got started. And of course, if you are new to the channel, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribing costs you absolutely $0. Okay. And of course, everything in this video is protected under the Fair Use Act and is used for criticisms, reporting, and possible teaching moments. So YouTube, do not copyright strike my channel. And everything in this broadcast is alleged. It's allegedly, according to what has been alleged. Okay? So what's popping, any gang, 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 gang? Now I know that there were a lot of people that were looking forward to this last night, and I do apologize for not having myself together last night, but I needed some rest. I'm not gonna lie to you. My body was tired. So we didn't get a chance to do what it is that we were supposed to do last night. So we're gonna do it tonight, okay? And before I drop the link, well, actually, I'm going to drop the link, but I'm going to talk about this first. This colorism thing seems to be something that has been happening throughout lives, okay, throughout our lives. And when I say our lives, I mean women of color. We go through colorism on different scales, different spectrums. And it's a hurtful thing that happens no matter what the hue of your skin is. It hurts. Okay, when somebody makes you feel a way about something you have no control over. You can't control the hue of your skin. Okay, you're born that way. It's genetic makeup. But this is something that is very real. I'm going to take my hair out, guys, cuz I just feel like I look bald-headed because of the way that my background is. It's like I'm bald-headed, y'all. And I don't like that. And then I look extremely pale because it's wintertime in New York. All right. I don't want to look bald-headed. There we go. That looks a little better to me. At least you can see I've got some hair. So it's something that we've all basically dealt with when we were in school as we were children. We've all faced some type of discriminatory behavior, discriminatory conversation, something derogatory happened to us all. And a lot of the times it is a foul that goes against us within our own communities, right? It's always our own kind. But here lately, what's been happening all over social media and even in television programming shows and all across the internet, we're seeing different forms of colorism that has happened. Now, this one right here, Erica Mena. Now, we all remember Erica Mena.
You monkey! You blue monkey!
I wasn't ready for that to start playing, but it started playing. So We all know that that is the conversation that was had between her and Spice, okay? And this started because of an argument the two of them were having. They were having a disagreement, and Spice told her that's why your son hates you. And Erica's defense was, you monkey, you blue monkey.
You
Right?
monkey! You blue monkey!
So the question is, why does it always turn to a derogatory slur when it comes to mudslinging? Okay. The next person that I wanted to bring up to the stage to bring into this topic of conversation is Anna Mack. Now, for those who don't know, which I don't know who doesn't know, Anna Mack is on Zeus's Baddies. She was just on Baddies East. This was her first season. And I'm sorry, if you don't know who Erica Mena is, she's a part of Love and Hip Hop. I don't know how you wouldn't know who she is. But Anna Mack is on Baddies East, right? And her and Rolly, who is a returning series veteran, they weren't even having a fight. Rolly was fighting someone named Biggie. Anna jumped in the fight. And this is what Anna had to say about Rolly. Get that fat monkey. So once again, we have a situation where another person is being called a monkey. And here we have Bonnie LaShay. Now, if you don't know who Bonnie LaShay is, Bonnie LaShay was first introduced to the world in the Blue Girls Club mansion. That's when everybody started putting eyes on her. That's not to say she didn't have something going for herself before that, but that's when she got the most traction and attention was off of Blueface's Blue Girls Club, the series that he did on OnlyFans during the panoramic in 2020. Okay. And so after this was over, her and Krishan were the last two women standing. They both were offered deals with Blueface. He gave them chains. They were staying in the Camo Mansion. Bonnie left for her personal reasons, and now she's back with a vengeance. Well, she was popping it about Krishan on No Jumper. Her Krishan's makeup artist was hired to do Bonnie's makeup that day, and she happened to overhear Bonnie popping it about Krishan, and the two had an altercation. And since then, they've been going back and forth in a feud online. And just recently, Bonnie went on a tangent and a rant, and this is what she had to say about Nikki.
You're a loser ass bitch. You dumbass bitch. You're.
Now, I do want to say while that's buffering, she's saying that Nikki, she's alleging Nikki was talking about her son.
Bitch, stay in your dumb ass fucking place.
Let's let it buffer for a little bit. I don't understand what's going on with it, but let it buffer for a second because we missed it. Up. YouTube. Oh, you want to act up? That's okay. Because I have it.
Dumb ass fucking place, you dumb ass bitch. You fucking makeup artist, bitch. Place, you dumb ass bitch. You dumb ass bitch. You're a monkey, bitch.
Now, we were able to get to what she said. She called Nikki a monkey. What I am going to say, in all fairness, look at the hue of Bonnie's skin. Look at the hue of hers. Okay. Let's go to Anna Mack. Look at the hue of her skin. Look at the hue of Rolly's skin. Erica Mena, the hue of her skin. The hue of Spice's skin. This has been the issue. Okay, it's not just the hue of the skin, it's also the ethnicity. However, these are the brown women that we speak of in the Black and brown community. So this is why I said hue. This seems to be the go-to. 3 different women, 3 separate situations, same verbiage being used, same insult being slung. Now, I don't know about you, but it angers me to see this. Okay. And earlier today on Instagram, when I posted the video about Bonnie, I didn't even get a chance to post about Anna Mac. Okay. I did not get a chance to post about Anna because Bonnie took up the Anna content that I wanted to do. Okay. I was focused on getting this Bonnie thing out. And so I tagged Tasha K into my post. You guys tagged Tasha K into the post. Faced by Nikki tagged Tasha K into her post. And Tasha K actually posted it on her page. Okay. And this is what Tasha K posted. All right. And you can see right here, this says Unwind with Tasha K. All right. And says, damn, that's how she feels. This is my video from off of my IG page. And this was the headline. Blueface's side chick Bonnie LaShay calls Faced by Nikki a monkey during a rant. Well, it was all fine and well when they posted this, but at some point in time, they decided to take it down. Okay. And it was taken down shortly after Bonnie posted a response in the comment section. She said, "This has nothing to do with race. I called her that because she want to be a part of the circus with me and Blueface. She's been talking about my kid because Sean sent her to set me up, and y'all taking this out of proportion. My mom is darker than her and my sisters, so y'all can't be trying to twist my words right now." Pause that right there, because that is the same situation that Erica Mena was in. And you want to know what happened to Erica Mena? Everybody knows what happened to Erica Mena. Erica Mena was fired from off of Love and Hip Hop, and cancel culture deleted her right now. What shocked me is I found myself deleting people out of my comment section for saying things like, how you going to cancel somebody that doesn't even have any motion? Sweetheart, she has enough motion right now. And before she can ever gain any more momentum, this needs to be put out there and corrected. That this type of behavior is not going to be stood for. Now, Bonnie also reposted my post to her story. And in her story post, she said, first of all, y'all taking it somewhere else. That's not even what I meant. I called her that because she want to be a part of the circus. My family darker than her, moms, sisters, aunties. She can talk about my kid, but I can't talk my ish. Keep my son's name out of your mouth and stay out of the circus because I run this ish. Now, before I even continue on with this, I'm going to take you to something that she said out of her own mouth. I do need to warn you, this is strong language. It may be offensive. It may be a trigger warning, but this is going to be sensitive content, strong wording, and YouTube, do not strike me because we are reviewing this content. Okay? All right.
Because it's early. If I am, it's early. So I can still fight her. Y'all hear me? Like, it's early. So it was like, you people can still kind of like drink and smoke a little bit in the early stage. Like, you could fight too in the early stage. You just don't want to drink the whole pregnancy like Krishan. That's why her baby came out so fucking retarded. The fuck? I'm not having a retarded baby with Blue. My baby gonna be smart. Like Elon Musk or whatever his name is. My baby finna be smart. My baby not finna be no retarded ass baby. The fuck?
So, for those of you asking what she said, that's what she said. But if we come back to here, she just said, she can talk about my kid, but I can't talk my ish. Keep my son's name out your mouth. So she doesn't want anybody talking about her kid, but she's going to talk about somebody else's. So I responded to her and I said, she didn't drag your son in her video, which she didn't. She basically spoke about the video that we already talked about, where Bonnie had her son saying that he missed Daddy Blue and asked if he was still in jail. Okay. And it had people talking, because it's like, wait a minute, you're going too far. You're bringing your child into this situation. That's not something that you should be doing. Time out. Whoa. And that's what Nikki was talking about. So I said, she didn't drag your son in her video. She spoke on what the internet has been talking about. No one mentioned the hue of her skin. You are bringing that up. Since you did, you'd be outraged if this happened to one of your family members, right? There's no excuse. And I agree. Keep kids out of it. That means involving them in this and bringing up other people's kids in a slanderous manner. Then I added an extra note and said, you should focus on your music and building your brand, because trying to run the circus is doing you a disservice. Now, I have not posted what she said about Junior just yet, because I felt like that was enough for today. I could have put my foot on her neck and pumped the gas and kept it going and posted that. But I'm going to relax on that for a second, because I felt like it was time to put a pause in this and to really get into this conversation. Now, I'm dropping the link for you guys to come up, because I would love to hear your experiences and what you think about this. But I am going to share something with you from my childhood, okay? As a fairer skinned, lighter hued woman, melanated woman, growing up, a lot of people did things like discredited my blackness, questioned my blackness, always said I had to be mixed with something else because my hair is naturally curly and it was long and it was pretty. And my skin, when I go into the sun in the summertime, my skin gets this reddish hue to it. Like it turns brown, but it gets this red hue to it. And I look really Indian. People always wanted to say that I had to be something other than black. And I was black. It was always, what are you? Some people, some, not all, women or girls, I can't even say women because I don't have issues with women. When I was younger, some of the girls that picked on me were of a darker hue. Now, what I want to know is, when we have those types of situations happen, what is it called? Most importantly, I'd like to know if people know where this type of mentality comes from. Because I'm going to be honest with you, this type of mentality is not something that we innately had inside of us. This is not something that we are born with. We're not born with discrimination. We're not born with hate. We're not born to know the difference between one another. Because if you look at two children, if you go to the park and you take two babies and put them in the park together, one clear baby, one melanated baby, because I'm trying to be politically correct here, they're going to play together with no issue. It's only when those children are told that they cannot play with one another that they begin to divide. And yes, this comes from slavery. Now, there's a lot of debate and a lot of speculation as to whether or not that Willie Lynch letter is actually real. What I'm going to say to all of those people who want to say that it's not real, if it's not real, how did it make manifest the way that it's making manifest? Because if you ever read the Willie Lynch letter and hear how they devised a way to divide us by color, breaking the buck to break the men down, how to defeminize us and emasculate us, all of this stuff is there to make the women hate the men, the division within our families, all of that stuff. where men will leave their families behind, comes from slavery. Because if you think back, the slave master would gladly take the man and move him to another plantation and have the woman and her kids back on his plantation just so that he can breed with her. The colorism thing goes back to the house Negro and the field Negro. The house Negroes were of a lighter hue, and the field Negroes were out in the field that were darker hued. And a lot of the lighter hued Negroes were in the house because those were more than likely massa's kids. Mm-hmm. And therefore, not only was he keeping his family in the house, the lighter skinned Negroes were more appeasing to the company when they came. So there came a resentment. And this is passed down through DNA, through generation after generation after generation. And if you do not believe that, I need you to go and look up, do your research and study on generational trauma that gets passed down through DNA. If you don't think that addiction can get passed down through the DNA, then you are sadly mistaken, because addiction is passed down through the DNA. That's why alcoholism runs in people's families. High tolerance for illegal substances can run in your family because it's passed down. And so this discrimination that is within our community gets passed down as well. And what makes this so sad is the fact that not only do we fight the outside world, we fight within our own world because of this. Now, I know a lot of people may look at this and say that this is not a big deal. It is a big deal. And what I am even more saddened by is the fact that Tasha K took a stand for something and then she snatched it all back. It's my assumption that she got tapped on the shoulder and paid under the table, or a threat was made. Something happened after Bonnie commented underneath it that made them take their post down off of Instagram. Either way it goes, Tasha K still has Erica Mena stuff up. She has Cardi B stuff up. She has Krishan stuff up. Tasha K has gotten on her mic and she has dragged those women for filth to the death and back. And people have always said that Tasha has selective outrage, that Tasha K has something against those particular women. And now it's starting to look like this may be true. It's starting to look that way. Tasha K comes off as a colorist, yes. I'm more inclined to believe that it was Jessica over Whack right now. I'm sorry. I don't throw Whack in every situation and in every conversation. I don't. And the way Jessica Westside moves, she moves strategically. So she definitely would be the one to have tapped Tasha K on the shoulder for sure. Just my thing, but I'm not here to really give two cares about who did what behind the scenes. Because here we have a Black woman with a huge platform to bring awareness, to have a conversation, to hold someone accountable, someone that was just on your platform. And whatever was said, you took it down. I don't respect that. And it has nothing to do with the fact that the video that they put up was my video. They edited my video, took all of my watermarks and logos out of my video. It has nothing to do with that. Because even in my live, I said If they want to know where the original post came from, they'll go to Face by Nikki. Face by Nikki has the original post up, and if they want to follow me, they'll follow me. So there's a way for them to find me if they really want to find me. And the thing about it is, Bonnie was getting dragged in those comments. Mm-hmm. 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 People were dragging her in the comments. People were calling to cancel her in those comments. So the traction was happening. And you pulled it down. Tasha K, I question you. I question you as a woman of color who claims to stand for women of color. I question you. Hey, Cat Eyes, welcome to the stage, sis.
Hey, my beautiful sister. I want to get on here and say happy Valentine's Day to you and all the sisters that's in the chat. I
Thank
love you guys.
you.
I want to say to about this hot dog lip bunny girl. Something wrong with her, sis. I think something wrong with her. But I also think all these things behind the scenes to me, just to me, I may be wrong. This is just a theory. I think that destroying Krishan is the key. I
Mm-hmm.
think there are a lot of variables behind it, people behind it. I do not trust Stanky Leg. You know I don't. I think
Mm-hmm.
he doing the sugar talking like men do who are incarcerated. It sounds good. It's what she wants to hear. And plus, everybody knows Krishan loves Blueface. So,
Mm-hmm.
but I also want to tell you guys, I feel like if he go back to talking about her bag, I think that's when she's gonna wake up and be like, "Nigga, that's what you want from the start." I mean, Ninja, that's what you want from the start. You just want my money. You know what I'm saying? I don't see
Mm-hmm.
her going back all the way because this is the same girl that said, "Hey, I can't be put out no more. Hey, I got my own this." She's feeling good about being able to do for herself. I
Absolutely.
think that Whack is behind this bunny thing. Then you say, and the mama, don't let me leave. And Lord, did you see her out
Ooh,
there? Her husband left her dumb ass in Vegas, sis. Cause she up there acting like some kind of old ass thought at
I
the
know.
restaurant. I
I
said,
know. We talked about that in the
I said,
previous live. We spoke about that already.
I said this woman is I don't know. I'm lost for words. That's the thirsty broad right there. And far as the colorist stuff, I would not ever call someone a monkey. I've never thought of dark skinned like people lighter than me. Now I went through that same thing you're talking about in school because my eyes they're hazel green, they turn hazel gray, they turn hazel brown. So you know what I was called?
A white girl.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
I was called a half breed. That's
Mm.
what I was called.
See, and that's the see now for me, I want to know what is that called? Because when you look up the definition of colorism, right? The definition only speaks of discrimination against someone of a darker hue.
Hmm.
But there's nothing for people of a lighter hue.
I just
And
want people.
I'm like, what is that called? Okay, let me pull it up because I don't,
Yeah, I want to know too because I'm gonna say this. Uh, a darker skin complexion woman is not the only ones that were teased. That's what I need everybody to know. We were
this is
teased
the
as well for
definition.
being light skinned. We were took down through there as well. If none of you guys never seen it, all I can say is, hell, it happened to me.
And see, colorism is a prejudice or discrimination against individuals with dark skin tone, typically among people of the same ethnic or racial group. Colorism within the Black community has been a serious emotional and psychological battle. And then when you go down to Merriam Webster, the meaning of colorism is prejudice or discrimination, especially within a racial or ethnic group, favoring people with lighter skin over those with darker skin. Okay. And it goes on and on and on and on. There's nothing in there about it being something that gets shared within our community. So, what is it called? Someone once said, I heard someone once say, it's called bullying. So, why is it colorism over here, but bullying over there? This is what I want to have the conversation about. Why y'all acting so scared to come up on the platform? If
I
you been
think
up
it's
here
a little.
chewing
I think it's
Carlista up,
both.
y'all be coming up here. Come
I
up
think.
here and have
I
these
think it's both.
conversations.
I think it's bullying and it's colorism. I think it's both. That's what I think it is.
I agree with you, the coolest jazz. She said it's actually mad hurtful when our darker sisters feel like this towards us because I love every single one of us. We all are beautiful as F. And I
Exactly.
agree. The thing is, now here's the funny thing, okay? Because as y'all can see, I call myself caramel brown, but I'm a little on the yellow side, okay? I'm a little on the yellow side. And when I was little, I was very high yellow. Very, very high yellow. I only had color to me in the summertime. And in the summertime, my hair would get lighter and I had that like these little blonde highlights in my hair. Natural. I wanted so badly to be of a darker hue skin. At one point in time, I didn't. But I wanted to be of a darker hue to the point where I would go and sit in the sun for hours trying to get my skin as dark as I could get it. Just because I wanted to fit in, because I've always thought, let me tell you something, and this may sound very odd to some people. I've always thought that darker skinned women were so freaking beautiful. Just the way their skin is so smooth and beautiful, just beautiful. When you're of a lighter hue, all your imperfections show. You got freckles, you like me, I got little dark marks right here, little dark freckle things. You don't see all that. I always thought they were so beautiful, but I was
Me too.
never really truly embraced when I was younger by them. And I feel like this is where it stems from. From our childhood, we bring it into the adulthood.
Yep. I feel like that too. I have a friend of like 20 years. I call her a chocolate china doll because her skin is so smooth and beautiful and stuff. And she's a darker complexion. She's dark skinned. And she
Mm-hmm.
was like, "Why you be calling me that?" I was like, "Because you don't have to worry about, I got freckles too and stuff like that there because I'm light skinned. So you don't have to worry about that. You know what I'm saying? Your skin is pretty and smooth, and I just love to play with her hair because she got the curly hair. It's natural. So I would never call her,
Right.
anything to make her feel bad. I would never, because
Well,
she's absolutely stunning to me.
I want to welcome Miss Pammy who came out the bushes on us. Miss Jackie, Alicia, and Arva. I think I said your name correctly. So I want to give everybody a chance to speak, cat eyes. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna let Miss Pammy go, then Miss Jackie, then Alicia, then Arva. And then we're gonna come back to you.
Oh yeah, hey sisters, happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day to you guys.
Welcome out the bushes, Miss Pammy.
Hey, gang. Happy Valentine's. So let's see.
Miss Pammy.
Excuse me. Growing up, there always was some colorism.
Mhm.
Um, with us, one year it would be the light skinned girls. The next year it would be the dark skinned girls. And of course, we were doing it to ourselves. And so I kind of fell in the middle, you know. Uh, a lot of the darker skinned girls would say that I was light skinned, which I clearly don't think I'm light skinned at all.
Right.
Um, but I think because of the way it happened when I was growing up, one of the things that I really try to do with my granddaughters, and I have three of them, and they are actually all of different shades.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I have one that's light bright. I say damn near white. I
Right.
got one that's both to the other two are darker than I am, but one is darker than the other. So
Mm-hmm.
I have one who has the um curly hair, so she's dark complected with curly hair, and then I have one that is dark complected with the 4C hair, and then the light skinned one is light skinned with the very curly hair.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things that I made very important in my life was to talk to my granddaughters, not my grandsons, because I knew from when I was in school, it always hit the girls. They didn't really talk about the boys. They might say, "Ooh, girl, he light skinned with a big afro," something like that.
Right.
You know,
Right.
yeah, you know how it is. Like, you see him, girl.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, I had one of them, and anyway, my story. But anyway, so what I made sure my first granddaughter, which is the one that's kind of a cocoa brown,
Mm-hmm.
and she's got the what we would say good hair.
Right.
So when as she was growing up, I used to always say to her, "You can be anything you want to be." I've always been very I'm gonna say pushy
Mm-hmm.
about understanding who you are, because what I found with us and going through school and how we do each other, and you've got to have self-confidence,
Right.
and that's hard to come by when your classmates are bringing you down. Your family's going to pull you up, but I always strive to them, all three of them. There are going to be times in your life, and at school is one of them, where somebody's going to have something to say.
Right.
Some, I don't care. I had a big booty. Even today, they still talk about my big booty. But anyway, I'm confident. Move out of the way. Or I might bump you when I'm trying to slide in between the chairs.
Right.
So
Excuse the beauty.
I've always tried to, even, and my oldest granddaughter is 18, and I
Mm,
told her, I said, they're gonna talk about you.
right.
They're gonna call you black. They're gonna say you're ugly. They gonna say you think you're pretty because your hair is pretty. The whole nine
Right.
yards. And that's
Baby.
why I've always told her, you are pretty. You are pretty. You
I
can do
think that's
whatever
an
you want.
important tool that you're giving to them because, you know, a lot of kids don't hear that growing up. They
Right.
don't hear that they're pretty or that they're beautiful or that they're smart or that, especially in our community, that's not something that we do. What do we teach our girls to be? Strong, independent, self sufficient. We teach them that, but we don't teach them how beautiful they are. And I do the same thing with my daughters. I'm always calling them beautiful. I'm always affirming them, because it's always going to be somebody on the outside. And you're right. In school, it was the division. But I will tell you this, there is a division with the boys. There is a division with the boys. It's not as nasty as the girls. And I
Right.
say that because of my brothers. One of my brothers is a chocolate chip. So within the household, around them, that was the first go-to when they start going back and forth with each other. That was the first go-to. Okay. But with them, the way theirs goes is it's in the women they date.
Yeah.
If
Now
you
remember, I
notice,
had three sons.
lighter skinned men, they either do one or two things. They go their shade or darker. They don't, a lot of them lighter skinned boys want the darker skinned females because they're attracted to what? The darker skin. The darker skinned men want the lighter skinned girls. But it's always been this thing because a couple of men have slipped up in rap lyrics and said light skin is the right skin. And that's that slave mentality still
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
But the thing is, we all go through the same thing. No matter which part of the spectrum we're on, we all face the same discrimination. So when people feel like lighter skinned people get away with more things, that's not true.
Right. Well, my ex-husband was an insurance salesman. And it's kind of funny because he was light skinned, big afro. We found out that his mother, actually her father, was a white man.
Oh,
Her
wow.
mother was a Black woman, very dark skin. They're from Alabama. We didn't find this out till, I mean, after we got married and had two of the kids at least. And her mother had 9 children. And out of the 9 children, my mother-in-law would go into the ice cream parlor and buy the ice cream and bring it out to the rest of them.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't go in.
Mm.
She would be what you would call could pass.
Right. I was going to say she was the one that was passing.
Yeah, she could go in and get the ice cream, but the rest of them could not. And so even with my boys, I have one that's light skinned, and then I have one medium complected and one darker. And I don't know. I didn't grow up in a household that paid attention to that. You know, my mother loved everybody. She loved my brother's white friends, dark friends, Indian friends. I mean, whatever came through the door, she loved them. And so I'm kind of like that too. Whatever comes through the door is what it is. You can't do anything about it. I have a cousin I mean, she is what they call quote unquote blue black.
Mm-hmm.
She is absolutely beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
But when we were kids, they talked about her so bad. I felt a lot of times I was taken up for her. She is even now today, I look at her skin and I'm like, man, if she's got any blemishes or whatever, you can't see it. She
It's so
is
beautiful.
absolutely beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. But I will tell y'all this. I've always said, if I was a slave, I got to be the house slave, honey, because I'm scared of animals. I'm scared of lizards. I'm sorry. I would have been doing it for the soap. I'm sorry. I would have had to be in the house. Ain't got nothing to do with being black, whatever. I'm sorry. I would have been beat. The wife would have hated me, but I wouldn't have been outside picking no cotton. I'm sorry. This has
I
been.
know that's right, Miss Pammy. Well, thank you for,
Mm.
for sharing. Miss Jackie, how are you? Thank you for waiting. Are you still there, Miss Jackie? Okay, well, Miss Jackie, we'll come back to you. Unpredictable.
Oh, I am so
Oh no,
sorry.
she's there. Hey, Miss Jackie, how
No,
are you?
I am so sorry. I didn't realize my microphone was on mute, and I hear talking as if the world was listening to me, girl. I am so sorry.
Well, the world is listening now.
I was just saying how much I was sitting here learning so much from Miss Pammy. I was like sitting, taking in everything that you were saying. I have to say something. I was so ignorant to the understanding of the word colorism because
Mm,
the way I grew up, I knew nothing of that.
right.
And my family is basically, I have the one sister that she's the darkest of all the siblings. My mom
Mm-hmm.
had 7 kids, and she will always complain, I'm the black sheep of the family. And I always say to her, why do you always say that? And sometimes I get so angry at her. As you can see from my picture, I'm not, I'm not the darkest of the family, but
Mm-hmm.
not the lightest of the family. In my country, we're coming, my great grandmother is Irish. My
Mm-hmm.
father's side is Scottish. So we are a mixed culture. So I
Right.
never heard the terminology colorism before. It's always just out of many we're one. So listening to Miss Pammy speaking and everyone else speaking, and Hanny, I got to tell you, from sitting into your lives, I learned so much about the different cultures and different, saying words differently, the word cap and abbreviations. I learned a lot. So this colorism thing is just so new to me. My sister, as I said before, my older sister, she's the darkest of the family.
Mm-hmm.
And my other brother, we were born a year apart, and he was much, much darker than me. I was much lighter than him. But we never saw the difference. Now, fast forward when I came into the United States, I was like 19 years old. I started modeling, and this is when I saw the difference, but I still didn't know the name or, what it
What
meant
to
to
call it?
be.
Right.
Exactly. So I started modeling around the time when, Tara and all the rest of them were there. So whenever
Mm-hmm.
I go for a job for print work, I always get rejected. And I end up doing work for runways or, music videos. The reason why was because when I take pictures, the pictures comes out really light. They said they needed someone darker, someone with a darker complexion. So I got the opposite end. I wasn't
Wow.
dark enough, so I got rejected for a lot of jobs because, my print work wasn't dark enough. But I didn't understand what that meant. So to me, I just like, pass it over.
Right.
So I had the opposite part of the colorism. When I was watching Pomona, Real Housewife, when Candace was speaking about that,
Hmm.
I, for the first time, understood what they were talking about. Now, fast forward just to, say my thesis so someone else can speak. When they talk about Anna and Bonnie and
Hmm.
this whole monkey, the Erica set to Spice.
Hmm.
Now, don't take this the wrong way, but in Jamaica, they have. I asked about their ethnicity, where they're from. Anna and Bonnie, are they Hispanic or come from the Caribbean or something like that?
Bonnie, and this is probably going to blow people's minds. Bonnie's mom is a dark skinned woman.
Oh, okay.
Bonnie's mom, Bonnie and Jessica West Side Stories, the cousin,
Uh huh.
their mothers are dark skinned women.
So they're not from the Caribbeans or anything.
No, not that I'm aware of. I think she's mixed. I'm not sure what she's mixed with. Um, but that's something that she kept saying. My sisters, my aunt, my mother, they're all darker than her. And but that doesn't mean anything because Erica Mena was saying the same thing and nobody, but I'm gonna let you make your point. I don't wanna.
No, what I was going to say in Jamaica is a tendency for them to use that word a lot to each other. It's almost like an insulting word that they
Yeah,
use to each
monkey
other.
is an insulting
Yeah.
word here.
Yeah,
Yes.
they use that frequently now. From what I'm hearing now, like when it happened with Mena and Spice, I
Hmm.
was one of the ones that said to myself, "Why is Spice getting so angry? It's not like she hasn't heard it before." I was one of them thinking like that because in Jamaica it's freely used, as
You know, I'm gonna say this. I think with Spice, it was also a selective outrage, maybe some peer pressure outrage, because that happened before it aired.
Okay,
There was no outrage
God,
before anyone said anything, and that's
got
the
it.
difference with Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. And I said this on my IG live. They knew what was in the episode, right? Because they're shooting all these separate scenes. Then all the separate scenes have to be put together, and then they've got to sit and approve the episode before it gets aired. So they
Ah,
were very well aware of what was said, how it was said, and what was going on in that scene before it aired. But I believe they put it out for public opinion. And when the public opinion was an uproar, and outrage. That's when consequences came down on Erica Mena. That's when Spice was so outraged and all of that because she wasn't really showing the outrage until that episode aired. None of them had said anything. Now, I don't know if they're under contract and have NDAs and they can't say anything until the episode, but this is the way it's presenting to the outside world that there wasn't any consequence because Erica Mena herself said, I continued to shoot. They were continuing to film. I
right,
wasn't fired when the episode happened. I was fired after the backlash.
right. Queen Williams. I think I may have hit two different things with my sister on the black sheep of the family and her being black. My sister actually had a problem with the color of her skin.
Hmm.
Her and my brother, he passed away, but they are the two only one that had dark complexions. So to answer your question, it's not just the black sheep. She had a huge problem with her skin that because she was dark and she is really dark. And I always say to her, there's nothing wrong with the color of your skin. You actually, she's very close to me because I'm the one that always encourages her and stop looking
Hmm.
down on yourself. There's nothing wrong with you. So in answer to your question, we use the word black sheep because she speak of black sheep.
Mm.
Not it's not that we treat her differently, but she look at herself differently because she's dark skinned. And she,
Gotcha.
yeah, she sees herself differently, to the point that she damaged her face. Actually, she her face is picked, like, if she gets a little, pimple, she
Hmm.
uses tweezer to pull her skin
Oh,
out. And she damaged her face to the point that, she's she hates her darkness. And she hates her
mm,
darkness because the other siblings are light skinned and she's
wow.
not. But we did not know it's called colorism. She just looked at it as being black. So I've learned
Wow.
a lot about colorism, and I never knew of it before. We only knew of it as someone's lighter than the other, and it's in our family. So it's not just Anna and Bonnie that's experienced it. That's why I'm saying I am so happy, not happy, but the platform that I'm hearing right now, it's really educational for me, because now I can look at my family and, hey, this is something that's called colorism, and it's not something that you should be ashamed of, because people on the outside are going through this as well. It's not something you brought up on yourself, and you shouldn't be ashamed of it. So this
Right.
is this is very helpful for me to go back to my family as well.
I'm glad that is helping you. Thank you so much, Miss Jackie. I appreciate you. I'm not kicking you off, but I'm going to move on to the next person because I know that they've been waiting. We lost two, but it's okay. Alicia, are you still there, Alicia?
Hi,
Hey, Alicia, how are you?
I'm good. How's everyone doing?
Oh, we're doing well.
Um, Speaking of my experience being light skinned
Mm-hmm.
growing up, I don't really think I understood skin color until about third grade. I'm from Florida originally,
Okay.
and I grew up mostly in South Florida, like Tampa, Miami, Fort Lauderdale area.
Mm-hmm.
And it's multicultural down there, so I
Mm-hmm.
never really knew the difference with skin color, or it didn't bother me until we moved to Atlanta when I was in about the third grade.
Mm-hmm.
And I can say that my issues stemmed from my mom, because her side of the family was dark skin, most of them brown skin or either dark skin.
Mm-hmm.
And I had two siblings, a sister and a brother that's deceased now, but I was the only one that was light skinned, and I was the middle child. So I was always the different one. And I remember my mom would tell me stuff like, "Oh, she thinks she white, she thinks she white." And I was like, I never understood that. And I would always question, like, why does she say something like that? But I was a very shy child, and quiet. Like, I kept
Mm-hmm.
to myself a lot. I would read a lot of books, and I just wasn't a people person or be around a lot of people. And my grandmother, I never understood the mixtures in our family or what we had. It was always suspected of what we were until, just recently I was talking to my aunt on my dad's side of the family, and I
Mm-hmm.
found out that my great grandfather was Puerto Rican. But I never understood, like, people would always ask me, "Oh, what do you have in you? What do you mix with? You look like one of those exotic women." I'm like, "What do you mean exotic? What does exotic mean? Do Are
Mm-hmm.
humans
Mm-hmm.
exotic? Like, I'm not an animal, I'm a human."
Exotic
But
or foreign.
yeah, and I would get upset, and because I was so quiet and shy, like, people out, they didn't know me, but they would um have this perception that I was stuck up. I thought I was better than everybody else because of my
Mm-hmm.
skin color. And I'm like, that
Mm-hmm.
has nothing to do with it. I'm just, I'm a shy person, and I keep to myself a lot.
Yeah.
And living in the South, I had to deal with that all the way through high school, because it's like, there's a division that's taught to us within our race: light skin
Yes.
better. If you're dark skin, you're not pretty.
Right.
And eventually I overcame that. And I remember as an adult, you know, um, one time I was at the gas station, I was pumping some gas, and this guy comes up, he's drunk, white guy. He
Mm-hmm.
was like, "Oh, you're pretty for a black girl." Excuse me. First of
Yeah.
all, why do I have to be pretty for a black girl? And I would hear that phrase, but I would never say anything. And at that moment, it would tick me off, because I'm like, just because of my skin color doesn't determine if I'm pretty or not. I'm pretty or I'm not pretty, but it
Right.
has nothing to do with my skin color. But I think it's within our race, it's just something that's um like you said, it stems back from slavery days, and
Hmm.
it caused a division because the house ends were better than the field ends, because they were the master kids and they were light skinned and they had the curly hair or whatever, so they could get away with more. Plus, you have to think about the lighter your skin was, you could pass.
Right.
And I want to bring this up, but with the whole Beyonce thing and her um going into the country music, and my daughter brought it up to me. She was like, it seems like the blonde wig that she have, her skin is a lot lighter. And I
Hmm.
told her, I said, I could understand she's trying to cross over into another genre,
Yep.
but when do we as black women accept ourselves for who we are and stop trying to pass? Because that's what it's called. That's what it is. It's trying to pass so you can be accepted amongst another race or um another genre or whatever you're trying to go into. But it's something that we have to begin to educate our the young, because this stuff is continuing to go on. And the monkey, the ape, oh, you're black, you get mad at some, the black this and black that, or you're high yellow. We have to
Hmm.
stop doing that to ourselves
Yeah,
within our community, because it doesn't matter,
I agree.
because everybody else see us as black.
That's
Doesn't matter
right.
if you're caramel, you're tan, you're light, high yellow, you know, depending on how bright you are. Then there's the clear. Oh, you're clear. When do we all say, okay, we're black? That's what I am.
Girl, you touched on so much right there. Well, let me say something. What people don't realize is even if the house Negro did something, they still got whipped. We all got whipped. So they may have gotten away with some things. They may have had the better clothes. They may have had the better scraps, but they were still going to get whipped, just like a field Negro. So there was always going to be a reminder if you got too, as they call, uppity for yourself. They
Hmm.
was going to remind you who you was. But thank you, Alicia, so much. I want to move on to
Thank
unpredictable, and then
you.
we'll open the panel and have open discussion. Unpredictable, thank you for waiting.
Hi, honey.
Hey,
How are y'all doing?
good. How are you?
Good.
Now I can read your comments in your voice.
Okay, I'm kind of off topic because I'm white
Okay.
and I've never experienced the other, colorism and all that.
Right.
Um, I have, however, grew up and I was raised around all black people, like
Mm-hmm.
school, kindergarten through my whole life. So I have went through basically people hating on me because I'm white and I'm hanging around black people.
Mm, mm, mm.
Um, but my thing is, I'm having a little issue with my son. All my kids are mixed, but my youngest, he just turned 8. And now he's going through this phase where he calls people like his dad is black. He calls him black. He calls himself mixed and he calls white people tan.
Oh.
Like if somebody comes up to him, like a lady at the haircutting place said, white people this or something. He's like, my mom's not white, she's tan.
Mm.
And now he got to where he's calling everybody in his class that is white tan, everybody that's mixed, they're mixed, and everybody that's black, they're just black. And I'm trying to phase him out of that, because I don't want him to look at people like by the color of their skin or any of that. So I just wanted to know if you had any advice on that.
Um, I'm going to give some advice and I'm going to pass that over to Miss Pammy because Miss Pammy seemed to have the more tolerant family. I came from a family that was colorist. Okay, not a family, but my grandmother was very colorist. But what I would try to do is I would try to just keep enforcing that and instilling that people are people. But
Right.
when people say I don't see color, that's a lie, because we all see it. What it is we don't discriminate against it.
Right.
So what you may want to do is just start trying to enforce that we're all people. You don't have to classify people by the color of their skin. They're just people.
Right.
Just try to ease him out of it and be consistent with it is the thing that I could say. But I'm gonna let Miss Pammy handle that, because I haven't experienced
Okay.
that. So I'm not.
I don't feel like it's like a huge problem because it's
No, I
not
don't
like
think it's a
making
huge thing.
racist remarks.
No, 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 no. It doesn't sound like it's a big problem, but I get what you're saying. You don't
Right.
want it to develop into something else later on where it's, him. So I get what you're saying. And I don't think that is, honestly, I mean, he's not lying, because I mean, let me this
Yeah, he's telling me like
this is
this right
white.
here is what exactly.
This
Like
is
this
white.
paper
Okay.
is white
So
and
ain't
he's
nobody this color. So technically he's not lying, because nobody is white.
right.
So he's not lying.
I just
He's
don't want
telling the truth.
people to take him, take it for the wrong because when he doesn't know somebody's name, he tries to explain I'm like the tan girl. I'm like, no, just say the girl or the lady.
Or try to have him describe them another way. The girl with the blue dress on with the bow in her
Yeah,
hair, or something like that. Just try to do that. But I don't think that he's doing anything wrong. But I mean, I get it. That's not something you want to be taken out of context. It's not something that you want to grow into something else. So I get it. But technically he's not lying.
right. I know I
But
threw
Miss
you all the way
Pammy,
off topic. I'm sorry.
no, you're good. This is still on topic. This is still on topic, because this is still dealing with colorism. It's still dealing with looking at people for the hue of their skin. So you still are on topic. Well,
Yeah.
Miss Pammy, do you have any advice?
That's so funny because my oldest son, when he entered into school and probably the first few years of school, and he's a very technical person. Um, he thinks a little different than most people do. And so whenever the teacher would say, draw your family, excuse me, he would use brown because he sees black people as different shades of brown, and
Hmm.
use what like the peach crayon, and so they've started to try to make skin colored crayons now. And so he would have an issue with it because the teacher would be like, well, is this what your family looks like? And he's like, yeah, this is what my family looks like. And so he would say, we would be driving down the street and there may be a Caucasian woman in the car, and he said, there's my granny. And I'm like, that's not her, because I told you guys she was really fair.
Right, right.
So I had to check myself because I was trying to teach him not to describe people like she's saying by, the colors or whatever. Because I would be watching the news and I'd say, hey, this black guy did so and so, or whatever, or this white guy did so and so, so and so.
Uh-oh. Oh, there you go, Miss Pammy.
Oh, I can't hear you.
We can't hear you. We can't hear you, Miss Pammy. I see your mouth moving, but I can't hear you. No, we can't. We can't. I can see you. You had blanked out for a second and came back. I don't know if you got a phone call or something, but you muted now.
Nope.
We
No
still
sound.
can't hear nothing. You could drop down and come back up. I'll let you back up. Now, while we wait for Miss Pammy, Alicia, you said something about, Pat, like I forgot exactly what you said, but you were saying something about fitting in. Me, let me tell you something about me. Okay, I used to be that quiet girl. I still am like a gangster nerd. Okay, I call myself a gangster nerd because I would read. I used to write poetry. I'm just a creative, right? But I loved to read. And nobody knew that, but I was the girl who had eczema that looked like leather from my neck to my ankles. Okay. So I didn't feel like I was pretty, even though people would say to me, "Oh, you think you all that." Whenever I would say, "Why don't you like me?" "Oh, because you think you all that, because you got that long hair and that light skin. You think you all that." Then when I developed, I had a nice size pair of breasts and I had a nice little booty and hips and thighs. And "Oh, you think you all that because you got booty and this and that." I don't think that. You do. I don't think that, because at that point in time, I had a complex. I had skin that was not like everybody else's skin. It was itchy, it was scaly, it was flaky, it used to crack and bleed and all types of things. And I had to go through all of this stuff. I couldn't wear stuff that other people could wear. I couldn't wear perfume like the other girls because I'd break out. I had to just be plain. And I didn't like it. But here you are telling me that I think I'm all that and I'm going through what I'm going through and you don't even know it. Then when the kids found out, they picked at me, they made fun of me. And inside of my home, growing up with my grandma used to pick on me. And she used to say I had crocodile skin. My skin was like patent leather, like a pair of patent leather shoes. Stuff like that I was hearing. And as I got older and started dating people, my grandma told me that I was not allowed to date a dark-skinned man. And I'm saying this in a nice way. And grandma, I love you, but you said this, okay? I wasn't allowed to date a dark-skinned man because I would mess up the gene pool. Now, when I had my daughter and my son, she was concerned with what color were they, what kind of hair did they have, what kind of facial features did they have, because she didn't want me to mess up the gene pool. Okay. And their father is Jamaican and Guyanese. So he don't have a nice grade of hair like as she would put it. He don't have a good grade of hair. He don't have hair like us. And she said to me, "Why would you want to lay up and have a baby with a man who got naps on his face?" So it's like I grew up hearing that, and she was pushing me to go date the white men on Wall Street. And I used to say to her, "Well, grandma, I don't want to date a white man on Wall Street because he going to go do him a line of booger sugar and then come beat me later. I don't want to deal with that." But she didn't want me dealing with a black man. We lived in the projects, and that's the crazy thing. We lived in the projects, but she didn't want me dealing with the common Negroes around there. She didn't want me to be like them. And I'm like, "But we live here with them. What are you talking about? We're one of them." But my grandma was very fair-skinned as well. And she could pass too. And my whole family on her side, either they looked like straight Indians off the reservation or they were very light skinned on her side of the family. My father looked Puerto Rican. So it's like we didn't look like everybody else. And so I dealt with that. And then here I am, I'm dealing with that inside the house. Then I go outside the house, and the very people she's telling me to stay away from are the very people I have to interact with that are treating me like crap and bullying and picking on me. And I'm going to say being colorist towards me because of the color of my skin. They were discriminating against me because of the color of my skin without even really knowing anything about me. I could go to a new school and there's going to be people that feel the same way about me. And I hadn't even said hi to you, but you don't like me because I think I'm all that. I don't think that about myself. So what I started doing was because I got bullied for a little while there. I became a rough and tough tumble kind of girl. Because that's how the girls were that were around me. They were hood, they were rough, they were tough, so I picked up that for myself to be able to fit in with everybody else. But it wasn't true to who I was, my nature, who I was. I was the type of person that, yes, I'm going to kick your butt and I'm going to beat you down. But I'm going to feel bad when I see you hurting. I'm going to feel bad. I'm going to go home and I'm going to feel bad. I'm going to want to apologize to you. I'm not going to want to be your friend. Because if I got to fight you, we can't be friends. But I'm going to feel bad and want to apologize to you. But I know I can't apologize to you. So I got to hold that in and just be like, whatever. that became so much so a part of me that it's who I am now. Like when y'all see me cussing folk out, I don't even care about cussing you out because you messed with me. So that's why I say when you come up in this dojo and you want to start picking with me, oh, I'm gonna go in on you. Because don't come up in here thinking you're going. But this is also why I'm the way I am when it comes down to people being bullied. I have a low tolerance for that. But that fit in thing, it became my armor, my protection. So the aggression that I display as a woman was actually placed inside of me, not only because of what I've had to go through as an adult woman, as a single mother, as a woman who's gone through DV, as all the thing, a woman who's been essayed and M'd and all, as a woman who's gone through that, it's built an aggression in me, a masculinity of protection, right? But from a child, this masculinity, this aggression, this warrior stuff inside of me was placed inside of me because of the other girls around me not accepting me until I became like them. So I did the opposite to fit in. But now Miss Pammy is back. So now Miss Pammy can finish talking to Unpredictable.
Okay, sorry. I guess when my granddaughter called, it knocked me off or whatever. But yeah, so what I had to do was realize that I had a kid here who already was having issues with how his teacher was making him feel. How she was making him feel like he had to uh make his family out of the colors that society says we are, like the white and the black, because he had an issue. He's like, well, white people are not white. They're really pink, or they're really this color crayon or whatever. But what I had
Right.
to do was pay attention to myself, because I'm trying to explain to him about these crayons and stuff and tell him, you're right. We're not white and we're not black. And I want you to continue to draw us the way you see us. But I also had to be careful with the way I was doing, because once again, I was saying, because I was a news junkie, and I'm like, oh, I'm telling somebody, I'm like, this black man did. And then I told myself, you got to stop that. So what I did was on purposely start saying, there was a guy on the news who did this, this, and this, or there was a woman on the news. And I had to put some effort in to make sure that I wasn't, describing people by their color. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's a natural response you want to automatically say. And so I had to dig inside myself and say, make sure because you have little people watching you, that you do the right thing and try to describe people for what they're doing or whatever. It doesn't matter if it was a black man that did it or a white woman or whatever. Just describe people as who they are. And I think that what you have to do is make your child feel comfortable in the decision that he's making, in the choices as far as people not being white and black, because we're not white and black. But I think you also should try to encourage him to just drop that part off and describe. Now, if you at a police station and you got to describe somebody, you
Hmm.
go ahead and describe them. But I think that's probably what you need to do, is say, hey, let's figure out a different way of describing them without having to say what color they are, And we
Right.
are colorists. And I think colorist comes with more than just the color, because it's always more than just about the color. Do you see what I'm saying? To me, I
Mm-hmm.
think
Mm-hmm.
people. So to me is the question is colorist positive or is it negative? Is it interchangeable?
I
For
think it's
me,
the negative.
I think it's a negative, and I'm going to tell you why I think that it's a negative, because it's another form of division within us. And it causes us to have more of these types of situations where now, look, because I can only imagine how Faced by Nikki felt. Now, we went through the things that we went through in public school, and that was the extent our neighborhood, our schoolhouse. That was the extent of what we dealt with within that close proximity. This happened on the internet so openly, so widely. You've got people all over the world that have seen this. I don't know how that feels to have that happen to you. And that's why I was like, don't worry, girl, I got you, because I'm going to make a post and I'm going to do some YouTube videos. And don't worry, I got you. And that's why I was like, Henny Gang, tag Tasha K down in the comments, tag the Shade Room, tag all of them, because we're going to get this up. And when Tasha K posted it, I said, yes, that's a victory, because Tasha's a big platform. I didn't even care about anything, because I was glad that it seemed like Nikki was going to get what she deserved, which was the acknowledgement that this is a foul, this is wrong. And Bonnie was going to be corrected in a public way, the same way that she publicly humiliated and embarrassed this woman. And my thing was, correct it now, so that way when she goes forward with her career, it's not something she's ever going to think about doing again, because it was stopped at the door. If she faces cancel culture right now before she gets started, she's not going to want to deal with that. But what happened? Somebody reached out to Tasha K, and Tasha K peoples pulled that post down. So what does that say to Face by Nikki? What does that tell her? And she just did an interview with Tasha K. So what does that say to her? What does that say to Erica Mena? What does that say to Cardi B? What does that say to Krishan? Women that you dragged for filth, because Erica Mena called Spice a blue monkey. Cardi B has called women roaches. And Krishan, in her defense, arguing with somebody who was picking with her, talked about somebody's color of their skin, talked about the width of their nose. And that's not making an excuse. There's a difference in the situations. That was not even really, because they were all arguing. But Krishan ain't called nobody a monkey nor a roach. And you dragged her worse than you dragged Cardi B or Erica Mena. You called her a nasty bee and said her son is a Hills Has Eyes baby. Now you have the opportunity to stand up for a young woman who was just called a monkey, the same way Spice was. And you back down? Colorism hurts our community. Because I'm going to tell you, Tasha K weaponizes the colorism, because she get up on a platform and be quick to call somebody out for that colorism, but it's selective outrage. My thing is, if we're going to be outraged about it, we're going to be outraged about it across the board. Taseki called E.T. a monkey, and she did more than called E.T. a monkey. She actually put a picture up and said that E.T. was the monkey. So it's two black women doing it. Where's the outrage? There is none. Because when we do it amongst ourselves, we don't look at it as being so bad. But when somebody that seems to even look like they're outside of the black community, we're outraged. When in all actuality, Latinas are a part of our community. Whether they want to realize it, recognize it, or not, they are a part of our community. Now, I don't agree. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of Evelyn and oh God, what was her name? It's right on the tip of my tongue.
Jennifer?
No. The one that played football. What was her name?
Reese?
The dark-skinned one that played football. She was African.
Oh, yeah. I cannot think of her name. Yes.
Somebody in the comments know her name. Y'all know who I'm talking about. OG, thank you.
OG, yes.
This reminds me of Evelyn and OG, because Evelyn did not face any type of consequence behind that. And she stayed on her platform. She stayed on the show, and Shawnee O'Neal stood up for her. Okay, but she sat up there and beat on a coochie and made all types of monkey noises and stuff when she was talking to OG.
She did.
And see, it's that stuff right there that has to be put It has to stop. This is unacceptable. Somebody has to say this is unacceptable behavior. We're not going to accept it from one another, and we're not going to accept it from the outside community. And as women, we need to take stance on this. Because I haven't called anybody except for my daughter, and her nickname used to be Monkey. And I'm going to tell you why her nickname. I'm talking about Apple Juice. Her nickname used to be Monkey because she climbed all over everything.
Oh, I
She
have something to
literally,
say about that.
this girl would literally take the dresser drawers and pull them out like steps and climb on top of them and stand on the dresser and call Mom for me to come take her down. Then I'd close the dresser doors, bring her out the room. She'd creep back in there and do the same thing all over again. She'd have on the prettiest little dresses and she outside climbing all over stuff. So, and if you grabbed her hand, she would walk up your body. So we called her Monkey, but then I started saying, we got to change her nickname because I don't want people to take her nickname and make it something derogatory towards her. So we only called her it within the house and we didn't call her it outside because we know why we were calling her that, but we never called her that in a derogatory manner. It was because she climbed every damn where. And what climbs everywhere? A damn monkey.
Right.
Right.
So, but it's just, we have to put our foot down and say enough is enough. And I feel like Tasha K dropped the ball. I'm very pissed off with her about that because then she turned around and posted something or her platform, her people on her platform. Because I can't say it's her personally because she does have a team. It's not like, my platform where it's just me posting stuff. But whoever is running her platform, they took down Bonnie's post, but then they put up a post about Big Fendi deleted his post after women are eating him up for in the comment section where he said Valentine's Day is for red bones. The rest of you bees can wait till Black Friday. I said, so they leave this up, but take the post about Nikki being called a monkey down. This is comedy at this point. So Tasha K, you mad because he said that Valentine's Day is for the red bones and the rest of y'all got to wait till Black Friday. But Nikki gets called a monkey and you pull her post down.
Do you know that I didn't know this, and I don't know how many people are aware of this. Even when it comes down to apparently being black and black with darker skin complexion is an issue not just here but across the country, because if you're Mexican or Latino, if you're darker complected, you're looked at as
Afro
lower in the
Latina.
family excuse me, than if you were lighter skinned. Apparently these different cultures, the darker you are in that culture, the less you are. And I didn't know this. I work at one of the top schools here in Nashville, and they have a lot of, during Black History Month, I try to go to a lot of this stuff. And so I started going to this stuff and started finding out that other countries, this darkness is it's looked at as dirty. And so it really was pissing me off because I'm like, everywhere we go, there's an issue with your skin tone, and the darker you are, the less you are. But I want to say this. I clearly believe that the United States started
all of this.
it.
Well, you know what? It started with, it
on
all
these
starts with
lands.
slavery. It all
Yes.
starts with slavery because, you have, now, I'm gonna tell you something that's funny though. Where I go, where I used to go, because I don't go there no more now. I don't lock my hair. Sorry. Where I used to go get my hair washed and set and blown out, the only people that could do my hair properly were the Dominican women. Because when I would go to the black hairstylist for them to do my hair, they always wanted to put a perm in my hair. Now, I have combination 3B and 3C hair. So that means that I have those curls, baby. They wanted to perm it. No, you don't perm my hair. So when I started going to the Dominicans would wash it and roll it set, and then they get that rolling brush out and that blow dry and they blow it straight. Baby, my washing set lasted me after labor and delivery, honey. That hair was everywhere. I went and wrapped it back up, tied my scarf on, spun that scarf around, left it on for 24 hours, took it off, and my hair fell like it had never been messed up. And y'all know labor and delivery, baby. You better do something with that hair because it's gonna be everywhere. So they were the only ones that could do my hair. They always speak Spanish to me because they would always say to me, "No, you're Dominican. There's no way you're black with this hair. You have our hair." What? No, I don't. I have my hair. Like, and it was crazy because Spanish people were always trying to claim me. I had one man tell me, he said, "No, you Latina, you Boricua." I said, "No, I'm not, Papi. I'm negra. I am not Boricua." He said, "No, your mommy didn't tell you something. Your daddy, no, you're Boricua." Like, you, even in the Spanish community, y'all trying to claim me. Thank you, but I don't belong to y'all. I'm not your peoples. And the crazy part is, at one point in time, when I was younger, my mom likes Latin men. So I had a stepsister who, she spoke fluent Spanish. She taught me Spanish. So when I was speaking Spanish when I was younger, people really thought I was Spanish because of my hair, my complexion, and I'm speaking the language fluently. But of course, if you don't use it, you lose it. So when they broke up, I forgot all about how to speak it. I don't know how to speak it now. Un poquito español. That's all, that's it. But, it's just crazy how you're bringing up other cultures. And I'm remembering, like, oh my God, yes, the Dominican ladies always told me I was Dominican. The Spanish men telling me that my dad is Spanish and my dad not Spanish, that my mama not telling me something because I'm one of them, telling me my features are of a Latina, like I'm Boricua. No, Poppy. I'm a black woman.
Hey, honey,
I get that.
I'll pick up that. I'll pick up after you.
Okay.
Unpredictable. I have one thing to say to you.
Yes.
I'm married to a white. My husband is white. He's German and Italian, and I have two sons. That's his, and I have two boys. That's mine. So we both have two boys. And with your son, what I would say, I would agree with Miss Pammy and Henny. I would get off the color coding and start referring to them as names, because my husband's son, they refer to me as, they call me their stepmom, but they refer to me by my name. They wanted to call me mom. I said, nope, you have a mom.
Right.
You have a mom. You're going to call your mom by mom. So they refer to me by my name. It's been 18 years now that I've been with my husband. And I always tell them, they mix with my family as well as theirs. I would stay away from the color coding because even with myself being mixed, to me, using the word mixed is also to me as colorist, because I feel bad using the word mixed. And using the word, tan is also the same thing, because in Jamaica, we refer to, whites as white person, black person, which in Jamaica, that's what they use the word. We're so accustomed to it, but coming here, hearing it, to us, it sounds racist. Um, that's on you. Now, on Henny, what you were just saying about the Latino
Mm-hmm.
in America, also on the application for mortgages, if you notice, I'm not sure if any of you fill out an application for a mortgage application. On the mortgage application has the ethnicity for Hispanic or Latino or non-Hispanic or Latino. And then it has the race. So many
Mm-hmm.
times I've had an Hispanic person will say, I'm not black and I'm not white and not Asian, right? Because on the application it says ethnicity, Hispanic or Latino or non-Hispanic or Latino. And they'll say, I'm Hispanic or Latino. And I'll say, okay, what's your race? Black or African American? Because that's the question, or white. And they'd be like, I'm not white, I'm Hispanic or Latino. So when you're talking about America, putting that, colorist thing on, it's true, because on the application, they're categorized them as black or African American or white.
Well, you get that on employment applications now too. It seems like every application you go to, they want to know, you know, what's your race and what's your ethnicity. To me, it's the same
It's
thing.
the same thing. It used to
So
be the
why
same
are you
thing.
asking me to break it down to the third power what my ethnicity is? So you know what I used to put? Other. You know
No,
why?
they
I
took
would
that
put other
away.
on, you know why I would put other on everything? Because after I did some ancestry DNA, baby, I got all types of stuff in my blood. Okay. I have Irish. I have Romanian. I have Polish. I have African, of course. I have Native American. I have Mayan and Aztec blood. I've got, listen, I got Nigerian up in me. I got a little bit of, I'm a little bit of this. I'm a little bit of country. I'm a little bit of soul. I'm a little bit of rock and roll, baby. Okay. So I would put other because I felt like, how can I classify myself as one specific thing? This was me when I was like in my 20s, child. And I thought I was so woke. You couldn't tell me nothing. I was woke, baby. And so I was like, nope, I'm other because I'm not African and I'm not American. I am multicultural. So I'm going to check other. And that's what I had started checking on my boxes until someone sat me down and told me, stop putting other, put what you are. But now I kind of want to go back to other because technically nobody is one race.
Right.
But you know what? Remember back in the day, if you had one
One
iota,
drop.
drop of black blood, you were black.
Mm-hmm.
When
And we
you
can't
Google
even
that,
determine, you know what? We can't even determine if we want to be called black, African American, because that's also another issue. Uh 10 years we want to be called African American. The next 10 years, don't call us that, call us black. So
Oh, and Dr.
there's
Umar
a
want
lot
us to
of
be
it,
Pan-African.
you know.
when you Google it, like if you have a mixed child and the parent is white or the mother is white and the father is black, if you Google it, it says the child is whatever the
The
mother
mother
is.
is. Yeah.
Yeah, the
But on my kids' birth
know,
certificates, it says that they're African American. Or I don't even know if it's a birth certificates, but all the medical records say that they're considered African American.
that's the
It's,
1% rule.
right. The 1% rule is definitely still in effect. It's still in effect. And you know what? I mean, if you notice, sometimes I say melanated, but a lot of people get offended when I say that sometimes but that's I don't
that's a firm
know. Or
word.
carbonated, melanated, carbonated, whatever. We're whatever. But at the end of the day, I feel like this. We have a huge issue within our community. We had a good platform tonight. I wish more people would have come up, but I understand not everybody wants to come up and share. This is like a touchy subject to get on. And I was kind of nervous about doing this anyway because this is very controversial. But we've all experienced some type of something, and what people need to realize is if you cut me open to do an autopsy, we are the
We
same.
all bleed the
We all
same.
bleed red blood, purple till the air hits it.
When we pass on and these bodies just become bodies, there's no soul, no life in it anymore. We all disintegrate the same way.
We all have the same organs.
So why
I have
does
one more
our
thing to say about
complexion
Bonnie.
have to matter? Go ahead, unpredictable.
Um, I don't like how Bonnie and Anna use the fact that their parents or their mothers or whatever are dark skinned women
Mm-hmm.
in a way that's okay for them to call somebody a monkey. Because
Right.
how would they feel if somebody called their mother that, and how would their mother feel if somebody called them that?
And that's what I said in my response to Bonnie. You brought up your mother and your sister. You'd be outraged if this happened to one of your family members, right?
Right.
You would be
Yeah.
outraged. You wouldn't want to hear anything because unless there's something else going on there. But I'm not going to speak that because I don't know that girl's personal story. And I don't even want to get into that and make predictions and assumptions of anything that I don't know when it comes down to that type of dynamic. But, I feel like she owes some type of an apology, even though we know that she don't want to, because the two of them have had a fight and they've, exchanged blows, and now it's, come here and it's up when I see you and all. I understand all of that is going on, but you've offended other people that aren't even involved in it. Because me, I post her, but I find her hilariously sick in the head. Because this is craziness. Okay, it's so crazy you can't help but to report on it. And that's why when I do her videos, I'm very animated with her video. Child, baby, let me tell you, because it's so over the top. And I get it. She's doing a lot of things for clickbait, for clout. She's trying to climb that clout mountain. That's what she's trying to do. And she's doing any and everything that she can to get the traction and attention and the motion that she wants. But this is not it. Dragging Junior, dragging another female down. No, that's not, no.
Crazy.
You know how they got people, or there's some people that lie so much that they believe their own lies? I think that's
Mhm.
the point she's at right now.
Baby, she's at some point, but she about to reach the point of no return because the peoples are sick of her. I could tell you that right now. They are sick of her.
Boy, she need to be more careful of if she's willing to go to this extent, because what she's showing is she's desperate and hungry enough
Mm-hmm.
for that fame that she will do anything for it. And that means that leaves her open to a lot of exploitation.
Anything.
You are talking so right now. And I'm hoping that there was a conversation that was had between her and her cousin behind the scenes about this, because this you can't keep doing this. You can't keep doing this.
I
But
think Jessica's on board with whatever she's on board with.
I'm kind of thinking that too now.
I mean,
Damn.
I do, but I don't. And I'm going to say why I don't. Because my response to Bonnie, Jessica posted it and she added me to let me know she
Oh,
reposted that.
Oh, okay.
It's in her story.
But see, the
So,
thing
because
about it,
Jessica Westside follows me.
but that's putting Bonnie in the hot seat, not Jessica.
What happened?
No, I said that's, but a lot of it, I think, Bonnie do it. Jessica is way smarter. Like I said before, she's the mastermind, but it puts
Mm-hmm.
Bonnie in the hot seat and not Jessica.
I've been saying Jessica is the mastermind
yeah.
behind it. She's the brains of the operation. And what she not gonna do is she not, let me shut up. That's a whole nother live. That's a members only live. Like, I can't be talking out here publicly in these streets. It ain't safe. I know Whack 100 and all of them. He done probably heard my name. She done probably that goddamn Hennessy reviews on YouTube and Instagram. And yes, hey y'all. I used to be scared of y'all to know me. Now I don't care. I know Carlissa see me. I know they all see me. They all say, hey y'all. But listen, I do want to take the time to thank y'all for coming up. This was a great conversation. I enjoyed y'all. I thank each of you for coming up and sharing. But I do want to go to bed because I am tired.
Thank you, honey.
Absolutely.
Thank you,
You.
Henny. Thank you so much for
You
the
are so
platform,
welcome and thank
ladies.
you. I appreciate y'all because I couldn't have done this without y'all.
Thanks for the advice as well.
Absolutely, girl. Anytime, anytime.
Thanks, Miss
Um,
Pammy. Thanks,
you're
Alicia.
welcome.
Unpredictable. Thank
You're welcome.
you. Thank you, Henny, as usual. Have
You
a good
guys
night,
have a good
ladies.
night.
Good night.
So before we go, I do want to say welcome to Girl Mommy is a member. And thank you very much, Miss Jackie, for the super sticker and uniquely yours. Thank you for your super chat. And thank you to Gold Digger. She said, celebrate love. Valentine's Day is not just for couples, it's about the love for family, friends, and self. Happy Valentine's Day, Henny, and to the Henny gang. Gang down, family. We are all beautiful and wonderfully made Absolutely. I agree with all of that. Y'all are all awesome. And I thank y'all so much for all of the patience and the love that y'all expressed to me, because y'all know y'all girl be going through it over here. Okay. We were supposed to have this conversation last night, but we ended up having it tonight. I'm so grateful that it went down. I would like to do more open panels with more discussions like this, because Hennessy Reviews is where real life meets trending topics, right? So if it's a topic that's trending and there's some real life behind it, we are going to discuss it over here on Hennessy Reviews, and we're going to make it real. Okay, we're going to make it real. We're going to find solutions. Unfortunately, this colorism topic is something that is very big. It's very huge. It's something that's been going on for generations, decades, and eons. So it's going to take time, one step at a time. But if each person that has heard this live, whether you're hearing it live right now or on the replay, gang, if each of you decide that you are going to stop discriminating against one another because of the color of your skin, watch the verbiage that we use and stop weaponizing your melanin. It's beautiful. No matter what shade you are, no matter what hue your skin is, you're beautiful. And not only that, if you're a woman, you are wonderfully made, darling. Okay? You are magic. Okay? You are walking, living, breathing magic, because, baby, you hold life and you bring forth life. And ain't nothing else on this planet able to do that except for what? The female. So I love all of y'all. Happy Valentine's Day. Thank you for ending your night with me. And I will definitely see y'all in the next video, or I will catch you in those IG streets. When y'all rest well. Remember, love is always love. Peace, y'all.
Because I don't want this simple life. It's the fine things I like.